you know, at this point, we try to get you to accept these things they do to you. It's funny. I went out, and every time I would go out to get around people, all kind of people from young and old involved in these manipulations and tormenting, and this is what it's supposed to. This is what's supposed to the program does, right? It makes you feel like everybody around you is against you. In this case, they maintain an ecosystem of people who are going to manipulate you. Sorry, not even manipulate you. They're going to torment you and say things in order to let you know that they know that you're a target individual and they want you to subscribe to it. With me, they try to mess with me. If these people look young, they're going to give me some weird stimulations. If they're kids, they're going to give me some disturbing stimulations. It's always that, right? And so in my head, they can always create something. It's funny. They will try to make me feel like have this back and forth because I went to this bar, right? Let me repeat that. I went to this bar when I stayed there till like 4 in the morning. And it's this young person, right? Then when I saw her first thing, I was like, oh, she's one of these frauds. But, I'm like, okay, she's at a bar. This is a bar. This is where adult people drink, right? It's almost, and she was there till like 4 in the morning. So you understand that most likely is an adult because this is a place for adults and it's 4 in the morning and one can just add things up. Like this is, that's not a place where kids would be. And they'll try to do this back and forth. And matter of fact, now because of that, they try to make me try to look at her in different fashion. When in reality, I was just I looked at her. I was like, oh, she's one of this fraudulent stuff, these fraudulent people that just play this feminist fake facade. Of course, I know what this program is about. When I saw these people, when you see these people, and there's just a few pictures, but you know that this is obviously a government-run program. You see, like you know that this is the structure. Like you understand that this is something run by an entity that's obviously governmental, and the technology on its own should speak for itself. These people are not femme fatale. They're not. They were a group of strong. First of all, and I know so much of the fact that I know who put me in this program, and the people who put me in this program are the reason why these people around me do what they do. I get it. These people would do this to a woman, to anybody involved in this program as a target individual. I understand. They want you to accept these things. Matter of fact, it was just non-stop. Now, looking back now, it's just like because I go in this environment, I end up going to like a bar, get a little bit emotional because I drank, and think about maybe this is my last drink, and when you have this kind of thought going while you have a drink, you become very emotional. And so now I'm looking back, I'm like, oh my gosh, embarrassing, and I do these things where I don't know if it's just me, but because it's just such a cringy moment to remember this, like me being super emotional, I said something out loud, like, oh my gosh, like, oh. And what I usually say is I call myself, and I know this is the kind of things that sometimes I do to get away from thinking about what I just did in regard of how emotional, how sad I was, and how cringy it was. I call myself a gay slur. I know it's weird, but it's a way to literally get out of thinking about this emotional moment. But they've rewired that word by adding an O to say pedo, right? If you take off that O in another language, that is a gay slur. But when I try to call myself this gay slur, it goes into the adding the O. They force me to say that. And this is how they rewire me and to say something else. They can make you say things to frustrate you, to mean other things. That's what they've been doing. And it's just nasty, but that's what the things they do. And then now they try to go back into the moments where, because of the initial tormenting of this pedophilia thing they did. I remember looking at myself in this camera, and at that point, you just being bombarded so much that you don't look at yourself the same. Now those days are long gone. I was weak at that moment. I was weak to even try to. When I saw myself, I saw the things they were doing to me. That was the days when I actually ended up writing a suicide letter saying that I'd rather die than become what they want me to be, right? And obviously, I don't stand on that anymore. That's not something I would ever do. Not based on that, because there's too many validation from strong men and women, especially women who've testified and talked about the same pedophilia type of torture. And if these people are strong enough and stayed strong for this long, me, I don't have no excuse. So now I find myself as somebody who's dignified, and I find honor in at least not being part of this nastiness, and be strong and see them for what they are. But now, the way they're trying to trick me is every time I say this gay slur, they add an O to say pedo to mess with me, right? Changing the meaning of what I'm trying to say. Now, these people around you are just disgusting trash. I see them as that. It's isolation gives them a sense of mysticness, right? When you're by yourself and you hear them talk, and you hear them do, you think they have a sense of, when you see them in person, you guys are just trash. I'm talking to somebody, a perp who tell me he's telling me he's gonna be in the coffin, you're gonna die. And I'm like, do you understand that you're gonna die too, right? Is that something that you forgot? Because you tell me about the coffin as if you're not gonna be ending in the coffin, right? Or you don't even know what's gonna happen to you. But look at the foul things you do. I know that you do. I hate the fact that these people, they want to be involved in being part of this torment, and they want me to look at them as, oh, they really care for me. I know you don't. Like, I can't play, like, especially when it's obvious. And they, when I interact with some people, they say certain things, right? They say certain things to let you know that they're involved. And so I'm going to be watching that you die. I'm going to watch you getting raped. I'm like, I don't care what you're going to watch. You don't know what's going to happen to you. You don't know what's going to happen to me, to you. You have no idea. I don't care what's going to happen. Like me, there's going to be there's dignity in my death. But I know what you guys are part of. So trash like you, I don't care what you watch. I don't want to do that. I will not want to be in your shoes. I wouldn't want to watch you getting raped. I don't care about that. I don't even care about you who's involved in a program that does all these horrible things. I don't even want to see you go through that. I don't care. If I hate you, truly hate you, then I will just not even care. I'll let you live your life like that and move on. You're pathetic trash, whose job, dedication right now is to do these things. And it's weak. It's not like it doesn't take much. You just gotta, while manipulate somebody remotely. This technology does it. You don't have to be seen. It takes absolutely zero strength of any kind to do what they do. You literally have to make them weak low lives. They have to be bottom feeders. They have to be cowards. They have to be just cowards. They have to stoop to a level of no return. It's disgusting. I would never want to be doing what they do. They have to sell themselves and become bottom feeders. I'm okay with that. I'd rather die and get raped and tortured than do what you do. There's no honor and dignity in their life. There's just pure cowardness and weakness that I'm glad I didn't have to stoop to. Listen, I'm not perfect. I'll never subscribe to their nastiness, but I'm not perfect. I know my weakness. I understand my imperfections. And I'll never let them live their fantasy. So when you see people like them around you, try to make you subscribe to these things, I'll never let them live that fantasy. Never. To all my target individual, this person you'll see top left of there, she was like, oh, you're going to get fisted, you're going to be tortured. I was like, listen, whatever's going to happen to me, I'd rather die like this than do what you do. So I know what you guys do to babies. Infants are being tortured by you guys. I'm saying that I'm sure. Infants. Do you think I care about being like, you're just trash? And I know why I'm here, so I understand. So to all my target individuals, stay strong and know justice will be done for all the nasty things they've done.